Okay guys, we need to discuss some very important issues that we need to deal with in a timely manner. They affect our very survival.
Okay, Jack, you have the floor.
First of all, what are we going to do with Mbali? Do you plan on returning her to her tribe?
My move was just a knee-jerk reaction to the possibility of her being killed. There are some things that I know by instinct, such as their language and some customs. But I'm not sure how they would react to her returning.
What is she, 20, 21? She's probably well old enough to know their customs and what would happen if she returned. Why don't you ask her?
I'll bring her here and then ask her. Cool?
Works for me. I don't want to take a chance of putting her in danger.
Mbali, we are trying to decide what to do with you. We don't want to put you in any danger. We are unfamiliar with your customs and tribal laws. Would you feel safe going back to the village?
I would fear for my life going back to the village. Upon return, I would be viewed as having disrespected the gods or disrupted the balance the tribe believes is necessary to avoid misfortune. Since they were not able to perform the sacrifice, they will see it as inviting misfortune or divine wrath. I would be blamed for any future hardships the tribe faces, such as poor harvests, sickness, or bad weather. As a result, I would be shunned or treated as an outcast for not fulfilling what was seen as her sacred role.
So let me ask you this. Were you willing to die this morning as a sacrifice for the good of the tribe?
No, I do not want to die. I want to live and have a full life. They believe that I was chosen and have been marked by the gods for death. I would be viewed as cursed or impure, with the community fearing that keeping me around could bring further wrath from the gods. I would be cast out of the village, treated with hostility, or even killed to avoid angering the spirits. They also probably believe that the ritual is incomplete and that I must still fulfill my duty, so I would be in immediate danger if I were taken back to the village.
So there are only two options. You either try to survive alone in the jungle, which would most likely be impossible and inherently dangerous, or you could stay with us as long as we are in the Congo. After that, we would more than likely be able to find a place for you to live either elsewhere in Africa, or even in the United States.
I only know my village. I do not know of these other places. But I would like to stay with your group. I know the area very well and could assist with navigating. I would be helpful to your team.
Well, the only reason we came to the Congo was to harvest the flowers we need to produce our medicine. Without the medicine, we will keep turning into an animal, which we do not want. We were going to harvest flowers after the ceremony, but that's not possible now.
Which flowers? Do you speak of the sacred flowers next to the gorilla altar?
Yes, Mbali. The chief had agreed to let us harvest some of the flowers so we could make our medicine. But now we fear going back because we know they're upset that you were taken away.
I feel very sad that you cannot harvest the flowers because of me. I feel it is my responsibility to see that you obtain the necessary flowers for your medicine.
No, Mbali. We can't risk you going back there. I couldn't live with myself if anything were to happen to you.
No. There's no need to go back to the village. I know the source where the seeds for the flowers were harvested to grow the flowers at our village. It is a very large source, many times bigger than the flower garden at our village.
Seriously? There's another area where the flowers grow? That's great news.
Yes, I know where the flowers are. I ventured there many times when I was younger. I have not been there for some time, but I know the area very well. I will warn you though, it is a very dangerous journey. I know a lot of shortcuts and hidden paths, which is why I was able to make my journeys safely. By the way, I was named after the flowers. The name Mbali means flower.
Well, if a little girl can make the journey, then we sure as hell should be able to.
But many creatures do not see a young girl as a threat. They will see a gorilla and a tiger as threats. But not many want to fight a tiger.
True. Gorillas don't have claws and so wouldn't be as feared as a tiger. But honestly, I don't think it would be that big of a deal for us.
But you must be aware of the creature that protects the Likwala River. It is called the Blocker of Rivers.
Oh, you must be talking about Mokole Mbembe.
Yes, you know of this creature?
I've read a lot about it. It's kind of a legend like the Loch Ness Monster, which I'm sure you've never heard of. Or Bigfoot, a lot of that crap. There's no evidence that such a creature actually exists.
He is not a legend. He exists. I have seen him 3 times.
Some have said it was a hippo or black rhino misidentified. You say you've actually seen this creature.
I've lived here all my life. I know every creature that roams the jungle or swims the rivers. I know this creature from a hippo or black rhino. Mokole Mbembe is as large as an elephant. Neither a hippo or rhino are anywhere near that big.
So you sure it's not an elephant?
You are so silly. Elephants do not swim rivers. Elephants do not have long necks like a large lizard. Trust me, this creature is not any of those things.
And you say you've seen this creature 3 times?
I think it was just 3. May have been 4. The first time I was getting water at the river and watching for crocodiles. You have to be very careful at the bank of a river because of the crocodiles. Then I heard this large splash, looked up, and this creature was staring at me.
Damn. I would have crapped down both legs.
That is nasty. Yuck, I did not do that, but I did pee. I was so scared.
What did it do when it saw you?
It just stayed still and looked at me. I think it was trying to see if I was a danger or not. When it realized I wasn't there to harm him, he started going down the river again, stopping to eat leaves off of the trees now and again.
So are you saying that we have to go through this region to get to the plants?
Yes, or I would have not mentioned it.
Okay, this sucks. Not being able to understand shit of what you guys are talking about. What's the deal? Are we taking her back or not?
If we did, she would be killed. So we can't.
Okay, so what's the status on the flowers? Are we still going to be able to complete our mission? That is what we came to Africa for, you know?
We can't risk going back to the village for Mbali's sake. But she knows of another location that she calls the source of the flowers. She says there's many times more flowers there, and that it's the spot where they got the flowers for their own garden by the gorilla statue.
Oh wow, that's great. So I assume that's the next leg in the mission.
Indeed it is. Mbali says it's a dangerous journey to go there, but that's looking at it from the perspective of a young woman. She does say, though, that there is a creature that is like a dinosaur that guards the river in that area. You ever heard of Mokole Mbembe?
Oh yeah. Who hasn't? I think most people have at least read about it, especially if they were coming to Africa.
I always wanted to sting a dinosaur in the ass. No, I guess I'll get my shot. Henry always wanting to fight. That dino would make short work of you, bucko. Shit. I'm sounding like Eli.
You should be so lucky, Jumpy. You want to be me, but you can't be me.
Oh, spare me. You are completely delusional, Scaleface.
Bogey-eyed turd sucker.
Never sucked on a turd in my life. Okay. Maybe once.
I swear I'm gonna duct tape your mouth shut. I don't care how slippery you may be, I'll wrap it so tight your eyes will pop out of your heads.
Wow. Hostile much? I do agree, though. Eating shit is not the greatest of mealtime conversations.
It ain't mealtime yet, you dweeb. Unless you're keen to sucking on a turd.
Mbali, be glad right now that you don't speak English. You wouldn't want to hear this conversation.
I don't know what they're saying, but they're still funny. I can tell by facial expressions that somebody is being nasty.
I assume we're gonna head out tomorrow. If that's the case, I have a secret mission I need to perform for a certain young lady.
Yeah, oh shit, here we go. 2 women now. Double trouble and double the bullshit.
I wouldn't expect you to understand. I really wish I could communicate with Mbali. Jerry or Jack. I don't care which. I need one of you to get with Mbali and find out exactly where her belongings are. Draw me a map. I'm going to sneak in there and get Mbali's things. She can't keep going on one set of clothes.
How do you know she even has more than one set? She wears jungle garb.
Apparently, you didn't see the nice dress she had on at the ceremony. I'm betting she has a complete wardrobe.
Yeah, I think you're nuts and totally full of shit, but do your thing.
I'll make things easy and just ask her if she has more clothes.
Thank you, Jerry. And I'm sure Mbali will thank you too.
Oh, you were right, Daphne. You should have seen her eyes light up when I told her what you were going to do. She even gave me a list of what she wants, and I wrote it all down. Take a gander.
Oh my. I'm gonna need Santa's sleigh to bring all this back.
Actually, she knew you couldn't bring back everything. But just in case some things are gone. She actually prioritized things and told me what she wanted, in order.
That's one smart girl. Would have been horrible to have lost such a bright young lady yesterday, for no reason. Makes me shudder to think about it.
You and me both. You need me to get you a flashlight so you can see what you're doing?
Don't need one. You remember me saying that I had extra abilities that normal wasps don't have? Well, that's one of them. I can generate light with my hands and my antennae.
If you really want to impress me, then let's see you generate light from your butthole. Only time Henry can do that is when he's lighting his farts.
Henry lights his farts. Why doesn't that surprise me?
Yeah, I don't. But whatever. If I did, I'd singe the hell out of your wings.
Daphne, all I can say is that you have put a smile on a young lady that you couldn't wipe off with a Brillo pad.
Ah, I'm glad. A young lady needs some good changes of clothes. That's one thing I miss being completely human.
You could always take off your bodysuit and let it air out. The rest of us wouldn't mind seeing you prance around in your birthday suit.
You'd all faint if I were to do that.
Maybe, but what a way to go.